Today I'm forcing you to cook with me. I am making soup. I make kick-ass soup. Kick-fucking-ass soup. I should title it that. Make kick-fucking-ass soup. Okay, that's the name of this video. Now, first thing you need, we're making real stock. None of this pure collagen shit, okay? Yes, we're going to use a little bit of collagen, but not 100%, all right? So I got a chicken. This bad boy is 5.3 pounds. So, is it? No, it's 5.9 pounds. So almost 6 pounds. So I got a 6-pound chicken. And we're going to take it out of the package. And we're burling a chicken. Now, what I do to take chickens out of packages is I stick one of the shopping bags in the sink and open it up, open the shopping bag up, and then I unleash the chicken uckiness into the bag so that it doesn't go into my drain of my sink, just in case, because I don't want that shit in my sink. Ew. Sorry. Better. Okay. So we're just taking out the chicken. Alright. So, inside of a chickie, you got the gizzards. Do not boil the gizzards. Okay? If you've never made stock before, then you don't know that. The gizzards hold the liver. Okay? If you boil a chicken liver, it is going to turn to mushy, ucky, yucky, messy grody-ness. Don't do it. Now, we're going to take Mr. Chicken, and we're going to stick Mr. Chicken. I have a 9-quart stock pot over here. Okay? So let me put him down and get the stock pot. Okay, this bad boy, humongous. $15 at IKEA. Holy shit, right? So throw the chicken in there. Then you can just pick up this mess and throw it away. No mess in the sink. Now, you're going to put cold water on the chicken. Okay? First you're going to wash your hands. And you're not going to get the soapy water in with the chicken. You're going to put only cold water in with the chicken. If you put warm water on the chicken, that's going to breed salmonella. Okay? Don't do that. You're probably going to cook it out, but you don't want to do that. It's chicken. You know? You don't want to get germs in there. So you need only cold water in with chicken. Alright, hands are clean. Warm water off. Cold water only. Whoa. Okay. Cold water only. Here we go. You are going to cover the chicken with cold water. Now in this 9-quart stock pot, let me see how many quarts we're going to need. I'm covering a 9-pound chicken. Please hold. And don't forget to wash your scissors. Those are dirty. Still running. How was your day? My day was good. I went to Target. What else is new? Alright, I'm up to 7 quarts of water. Alright, I'm going to stop it at 7 quarts. No, I'm going to keep it going. 7.5 quarts. I'm going to stop it at 7.5 quarts of water. Okay? So, you know what? Let me show you real quick how far over the chicken it is, okay? Just to give you an idea. Here's Chicky. So it's up to there on my finger, the water, okay? So now, now we're gonna stick, oh, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. All right. You're gonna stick this on a burner on your stove that you do not use often. Okay? You can put this on a back burner. That would be good. Okay? Use it on a burner on the stove that you don't use often. Do not, sorry. Whoops. I'll get it together, I promise. I haven't done a cooking video in a while. Cut me some slack. Alright, so you're going to put it on a burner, like the back burner, which is what I just did. Okay, because you're going to need the other burners throughout your day. Alright? Center the pot. Duh. Because this bad boy is going to be on the stove for a long time. That's my opinion. Everybody makes stock differently, okay? Some people don't do a long time. Some people do forever. Okay. I like to cook stock forever. Cook the shit out of the chicken, okay? This bad boy, holy shit, what the hell was that? Hang on. Okay. I don't know what that was. It is, what time is it? It's 2:25 now. I'm not taking this thing, I'm not stopping the cooking until I go to bed tonight. So it's going to be boiling for at least 8 hours. At least. Okay? So, now that we've got that, let me give you some measurements. You are going to stick this on burl. Okay, now the goal is to bring it to a boil. Okay, that's the goal. Okay, it's going to take a while for it to do that because you got, 7 quarts worth of water in there with a chicken. With a cold chicken. It's going to take a while. So in the meantime, we have to flavor that water because you can't just have chicken water, okay? Chicken water, there we go. Chicken water, it's alright. You can do that. I don't. We're making my version. Alright? First thing you need, salt. I use kosher. I have no reason for using kosher. I just like kosher, okay? So, let me see how much I use, and then I'll tell you. Okay, I just used 3 rounded tablespoons of kosher salt. Okay? In that size stock pot. Next, I'm going to take out the spices. We're going to do, okay, my favorite spice in the universe with chicken is sage. Some people are huge fans of thyme, rosemary. Mine is sage. I must have sage on chicken. Must. So I am going to do, let me see which one fits in here. Okay. Hang on. One teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, about 2 teaspoons of sage. Okay. Next, I'm going to do some thyme. I'm only going to do 1 teaspoon of thyme. And last, bay leaf. You cannot make chicken soup or chicken stock without bay leaves. They are so necessity. It's what makes a soup taste like soup. It changes the flavor of chicken water to soup. It changes it over. So I'm gonna stick, oh, I've got a broken one. Okay, so I'm gonna stick, let me just show you the size. I'm sticking this guy, which is a big one. This guy, big to medium. And a half of this medium one into the chicken stock. Okay? Hold on. Okay. And that's it. Alright? So now we are going to put a lid on it. Okay? Lid goes on. And we're going to bring it to a boil. The second it boils, we're going to turn it to a simmer. And we're going to simmer the shit out of it until I go to bed tonight. So we're talking 8 hours good. Alright? Now the pot is going to be so flippin' hot when I go to bed tonight, I'm going to leave it out on the stove. When I wake up in the morning, the pot is still going to be hot. I'm not kidding. Because there's so much liquid in that thing, it is not going to be able to release all the heat. So it will be okay to leave it on the stove. When I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to bring it back to a boil. And then I'm going to let it cool down again. Is it coming to a boil already? No. Okay. I'm going to bring it back to a boil again. And then shut it off totally. And just let it cool down. That's going to be chicken stock. Next thing I'm going to do for you is I'm going to show you what we stick in the chicken stock. Okay? First thing you're going to need is, how many pounds is this? 1 pound of ground chicken. Okay? This is Perdue fresh ground chicken. This is less than 50% the fat. This is not the lean 97% fat one. This is just the regular one. Just so you know. Okay? Just to, you know, in case you're not sure which one you're buying, here's the nutrition facts. This one has 9 grams of fat per serving. So, just so you know. Mine is frozen, so I have to let it thaw out. It'll be thawed out by tomorrow morning. And then we're going to make chicken meatballs. And I'm going to put shit in it. And it'll be so yummy and good. So we're making soup tomorrow, okay? But that's how you make chicken stock. Bye. So I just took the chicken out. With, what I did is I boiled it down. How many quarts do I got here left with the chicken out? With the chicken out, I have 4 quarts of stock left, okay? And I took it out with these bad boys and this. This is a hand strainer, and what I did is, now the chicken is gonna fall the fuck apart. It is gonna fall the fuck apart. It's gonna be a mess. So you're gonna need gotcha hooks to get, or tongs. I always call them gotcha hooks. You're gonna need gotcha hooks to get the big pieces out, and then you're gonna need the strainer to get the little pieces out that you can't pick up with the gotcha hooks. Now, you could, if you have a second if you have a second stock pot, you could just pour this one into a really, really thin colander and just strain it all out. That would be easier. But I don't have a colander, and I don't have a thin enough colander. My colanders have bigger holes, and I don't have another quart stock pot big enough for this bad boy. So that's why I did it this way. It's not hard, but I throw out the chicken because I've cooked it so much it has no flavor anymore. But you can use it if you want to. It's up to you. So I chucked it. Now I'm going to stick this stock pot with the stock into the refrigerator. It's it's hot. It's not very, very hot, but I can put my hand on it, and the farther down I go, the hotter it is. But it's going in the fridge overnight, and it's going to get a thick crust of chicken fat on the top, and we'll take care of that tomorrow, okay? Okay. So here's the chicken stock, and you can see a yellow thing on top. This is the chicken fat, all right? I'm taking a fork, and I have a plate, all right? This is just a paper plate. We're gonna remove the chicken fat, all right? Because it's pointless. It just ruins it. So I take the fork, run it around, and just scoop off the chicken fat. All right. Now, because I didn't use pure chicken legs, there's not a whole bunch of just chicken fat in it. Not as much chicken fat as I thought there was going to be. So, which is good. Which is good. Which means more chicken stock. So, you're just going to fish around and remove as much chicken fat as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just try to get as much chicken stock off as you can. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Alright, so I skimmed all the fat off it, and just so you know, your chicken stock, while it's cold, is going to be like Jell-O, okay? If you did it right and you had enough fat in it, it's going to be like Jell-O. That is good, healthy stock, just so you know. Okay, back to soup. We're going to make the mini meatballs, okay? Like I mentioned, we're doing chicken. So this is Perdue fresh ground chicken, and this is the one with 9 grams of fat per serving, okay? You can use the lower fat one if you want to. I just don't give a shit because I'm a DS patient and it means nothing to me. I've got bowl. We're making meatballs, baby. We're making meatballs. Woo-hoo. So you're going to empty the chicken into the bowl. Now keep in mind this is going to be a hand maneuver, so wash your hands. Blech. Okay. I always start with a mini spoon. You know, whoa. I always start with a dessert spoon, and you want to start with a dessert spoon because we're going to be making mini meatballs. If you start with a big spoon, you're going to make the meatballs too big, and that's no bueno. You don't want meatballs too big in the soup because fungal. What was that? That's weird. Sorry, my phone rang. You don't want meatballs too big in the soup because you want to be able to have meatballs where somebody can just pick them up with a spoon and eat them, you know, not cut them and eat them. That kind of ruins the soup, you know, it ruins the soup. So make them little, all right, and I'll go over how big they're going to be with you in a second. So first thing you want to do, 1 egg. I like brown eggs, just my preference. Doesn't make a difference what kind of egg you use, okay? Whack the shit out of it, and you're good. Please hold. Bloop. Okay. Okay. Next, breadcrumbs. I like to use, these are panko Italian style breadcrumbs, okay? You don't have to use the panko. You can use regular style breadcrumbs. They're gonna get wet anyway, so who cares if they're panko? It doesn't make a difference. I'm gonna use a half a cup, okay? Yeah, half a cup. I usually eyeball it, and I'm trying to measure for you, but a half a cup is good. So we'll do that. Where's the lid for this bad boy? Okay. Next, cheese. You can use, this is Lucatella Pecorino Romano cheese. If you're gonna get Pecorino Romano cheese, try to buy Lucatella. This is the best Romano cheese you can buy in America, okay? This is imported from Italy. This is the good shit. It's fucking expensive. I hate it, but it's the good shit. Anyway, having said that, you can use Parmigiano Reggiano or you can use Pecorino Romano. I'm a Romano girl. It's Parmigiano Reggiano is a little creamier. Pecorino Romano is it has a little more bite to it. It's a little, I don't know, it's a little sharper than Parmigiano Reggiano. So I prefer sharp cheese, and that's why I'm using Pecorino Romano. Okay, that's my preference. You can use Parmigiano Reggiano, whatever makes you happy. Okay, so we're going for cheese now. 4 cheese. Whoa, getting breadcrumbs on myself. Whoopsie. Now, because we're not going to throw much salt in it, okay, as far as the breadcrumbs are concerned, it's not breadcrumbs, meatballs. We are not using salt in the meatballs. No salt. The only salt we're using is the salt from the cheese. Okay? So we're going to use a half a cup of Pecorino Romano cheese. So get in there. Oh. Okay. Alright. And that goes in the sink. Next, dried parsley flakes. I gotta get a big guy. You want to use about 2 tablespoons of dried parsley flakes. Maybe a little bit more, it's up to you. Okay? So now you got yourself a good bowl. You don't got to worry about adding garlic to this. You don't got to worry about adding dried onion to this, because that's all in the seasoned Italian breadcrumbs. Alright, don't worry about it. If you want to add more, mazel tov. Whatever makes you happy. Alright, so now at this point, you want to take your mini spoon and you're going to start mixing around. Alright, just to get a little bit of the egg mixed in with the breadcrumbs, so that by the time you stick your hand in there, you're not just sticking your hands in a whole bunch of egg. Alright, so mix it around until it looks a little better, you know, until you look like you can stick your hand in there and not freak out. I don't like sticking my hand in raw egg, so I like to mix a little. I'm just breaking up. You hear the tapping because I'm breaking up the cold balls of Pecorino Romano. Alright, so we're good. Now at this point, put your spoon to the side, throw your hands in there, and start mushing. Now because this is chicken, and these are going to be little meatballs, you don't got to worry too much about overdoing it, you know, overdoing the mushing. If these were big meatballs, you don't want to overdo. because the more you mush, the less tender the meatballs are going to be. But because these are going to be little meatballs, you don't got to worry too much. So mush around, make sure you get all the breadcrumbs evenly dispersed. I'm sorry it's making so much noise. I'll try to put the bowl against my belly. There you go, not so much noise. It's fucking cold, man. This chicken's cold. Alright. Okay, we're good. Blech. Get the chicken off your hands. Alright. So now I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to measure out how big the meatballs are going to be, okay? Alright, so what I've got going on is I've got the New Wave Oven Pro Plus. I've got the big rack lined with some no stick tin foil. This is that, hold on a second. This is that Reynolds Wrap no stick shit. And I love this shit. So I've got it lined with that. And I just press down on it so that I can get the ridges to come up a little. And it holds the meatballs in place so that they don't, you know, roll all over the place. It helps me with the lines, so I can, you know, kind of keep rows going on, and it just helps me because I'm crazy. So next, we're going to make meatballs. I am going to get a little bit of meatball mix on my spoon, and I'm going to show you how much. So here's my hand. Here's the meatball mix, just to give you an idea of how much meatball mix. That's probably about between 1/4 and 1/2 teaspoon of meatball mix. Okay, so you can take some meatball mix, middle of your hand, roll it out, meatball, don't go too ape shit, and just throw it. Okay, and I'm warning you now, this process, making the mini meatballs, is a very long and tedious process. I'm not kidding. This process takes, I mean, you're looking at a good 45 minutes. This is not, this is easy. This is a very easy process, but it is not fast. Because you got to put these fucking things together, and there's so many of them, it just takes time. It's just a timely process because you make so many of them that it just takes forever. So, you know, I'm just warning you now, put some music on in the background and get yourself something to drink because you're going to be here for a while. So I'm just letting you know. So I'll be back. I'm going to make some meatballs and I'll show you what happens when I'm all done. Alright? Oh, you know what? Let me just tell you now. When I make the meatballs, I stick them in the New Wave oven and I cook them for about 12 minutes. Alright? After about 10 minutes, I take a look at them. The brown ones I usually pull out. And I move the not so brown ones into the center of the New Wave oven, and I give them like another 2 minutes or so, and make sure everybody's, you know, semi-brown. And you know, as long as everybody's semi-brown, then I'm a happy camper. So yeah, you know, as long as they look pretty good, that's all I really care about. You want to get some. You want to get a semi-shell on them. You want to get a semi-crust on them. Because if you don't get a semi-crust, they're going to fall apart in the chicken stock. And you don't want that to happen because then you're going to have you know, cloudy chicken stock, and it's not going to look like a good soup. Nobody's going to be able to eat your damn meatballs, and it's going to be like, why the hell did I bother doing this shit? And it's not going to be good. So I'll be back, okay? Alright, so that's batch 1. Don't know how many are on that, probably 40, 50. So I'm going to throw the new wave on top of it and fire this baby up. I'm going to set it for 12 minutes and see how we do. I'm going to take a look at it after 10 minutes and see how brown the middle guys are, and pull the middle guys off if I need to, and leave the outside guys on to see if they need more time. Okay, so I've got batch 2 rolling. By the way, if you don't have a new wave oven, which obviously not many people do, just bake them, okay? Don't fry them. You know, fried meatballs are just going to collect a lot of grease, and you don't need the grease in the soup. It's not going to add anything to the soup. You know, as far as flavor is concerned, it's just going to add oil. So don't do that. Just bake them. Bake them at 400 degrees until they look brown enough to pull them out. Probably like 10 minutes, something like that. You know, just watch them. Just take a peek at them every, you know, 5 minutes or so and see how they look, okay? And then, you know, pull them out when they're done, okay? Okay. Alright, so I got my plate of meatballs. This is what they look like. They're this dark, okay? And these are going to go in the soup. So now we're going to move on to, we're going to move on to sticking stuff in the soup. Alright, so we've got in the pot, I've got a little over 4 quarts of chicken stock. I am going to bring this bad boy up to a boil. Okay? Collagen. This is my favorite chicken stock. You use your favorite chicken stock, but this is mine. I've got a 48-ounce container of chicken stock. That's a little over a quart. Alright? I'm going to throw this bad boy in with my chicken stock. Now the reason why I'm adding 1 quart, well, a little over 1 quart of pre-made chicken stock, well, chicken broth, excuse me, is because store-bought chicken broth has a slightly different taste to it, and it kind of adds a little bit of depth and flavor, and I like it. So I'm going to add this to my stock. So the most important ingredients in this dish are mushrooms. I like baby portobello mushrooms, carrots, and fresh spinach. If you can't find fresh spinach, you can use the frozen spinach. Just squish out the juice, okay? So I am going to cut the carrots first. You can use as much carrots as you want. I probably shouldn't have thrown one in my face, but I like raw carrots. So I like big chunks, and I cannot lie. So I take baby carrots and I cut them in 3s, and these guys are going to be the first ones to go in the chicken stock, because you want to cook these down not to mush but to tender. Okay, so because I didn't have many in this bag, I'm going to cook them all. Let me just throw these in. Okay. So I just want to make this dry. I've got pre-cut baby portobello mushrooms. Alright. Though they're pre-cut, I want to cut them a little bit smaller. So I'm going to open these bad boys up and just rough chop them. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. And I'm going to keep them rough chopped on a paper plate. I just like using paper plates because it's less to clean up. Okay, it's just my preference. You can stick them in a bowl if you want to, but then you've got a bowl to clean. So, you know, it's just less dishes. I hate doing dishes. So, throw some on the cutting board. And so here's your mushrooms, and just rough chop them. Done. Okay? You did it. Ta-da! And that's all you need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and rough chop the rest of these mushrooms. Whoop! Whoa! Whoa! Okay. I'm going to go ahead and rough chop the rest of these mushrooms, and I've got 2 pounds of mushrooms. Okay, I've got this many mushrooms because I love mushrooms. You do not have to use this much mushrooms. You can use 1 pound of mushrooms if you want to. All right, but I just love mushrooms, so I'm using 2 pounds. 1 pound is fine. You can use 1.5 pounds. You know, you don't have to go overboard with the mushrooms. I admit I am going overboard with the mushrooms today. I have never used 2 pounds of mushrooms in my soup. This is a first for me. So I'm just letting you know. I'm totally going overboard on the mushroom tally. But I'm madly in love with mushrooms, and that's what I want. So you go ape shit, and I'll see you in a little bit. Let me shut off the camera in 1 second. Okay. Alright, so now that we're boiling, I'm going to throw in some mushrooms. I have a humongous amount of mushrooms. 2 pounds was too much. When I chopped them up, I realized 2 pounds was too much. So I'm going to do probably 1.5 pounds. But I'm just going to start pouring them in, and we'll see, you know, how many go in. You're going to want to cook them a lot. Actually, wait a minute, I might be lying. 2 pounds might be okay. Let me see. Nope, I'm doing 2 pounds. We're doing 2 pounds, kids. Fuck it. I'm doing 2 pounds of mushrooms. You do what you want. I'm doing what I want. Yeah. Alright, so I'm doing 2 pounds of mushrooms, and I'm just gonna scoop them down, get everybody into the broth, and we're gonna cook the hell out of it. The mushrooms have a very distinct flavor, and we're going to boil the mushrooms for quite some time. Alright, you're going to boil the carrots and you're going to boil the mushrooms for quite some time. Probably 45 minutes to an hour. Alright, so you're going to stick the lid on it and boil. Alright, so we got the mushrooms in there. They've been burling for a little over an hour. Excuse me, not over an hour, almost an hour. I'm going to stick the meatballs in now. Whoop. And warm them up. The meatballs are going to add some, whoop. Okay. Meatballs are going to add some depth of flavor. And that's going to be good. Also, you're going to add some spinach. Hold on. Okay. You're also going to add your bag of spinach. Alright? Whole bag. Okay. Alright. So you're going to push that down. Make sure everybody's in the soup. And you're going to wilt the spinach and cook it. Alright? And we're going to bring everything back up to a boil. We got the heat on low. Okay, just so you know. Heat's on low, but everything's simmering. Okay? Simmering / boiling. Alright, last step. We got 2 cups of mini farfalle pasta. Okay, little tiny bow ties. You pick whatever mini pasta you want. I like mini shells. These are good. Ditalini are good. Whatever mini pasta you want. 2 cups of it. Throw that in. And give it a stir. Keep it boiling. Try to keep the spinach off this stupid ladle. Jesus, that's hard. And you're good. So you're just going to cook it until the pasta is as tender as you want it to be. Okay? I like my soup pasta a little on the super tender side. That's me. But you cook it for as long as you want to. Just keep trying it. Okay? And that's my soup. And it's delightful. Alright, so this is what this stuff looks like. It's just delightful. You got your meatballs. It's just so good. It's so freaking good. Let me give it a taste for you. I'll let you know how it is. Even though it's like molten lava, it's so freaking hot. Oh. I don't know if it's too hot to eat. I just took it out of a boiling pot. Oh God, it's delicious. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, you need to make this. Just give it a try. Give it a frickin' try. Definitely give it a try, okay? Love you.